Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday, so why don't you choose the matchup? You choose Tuesday? New name? Maybe. Charles Clairmont, 1993. Chris Bumstead, 2021. If you don't know who Charles Clairmont, wow, this guy, he competed as far back as the 80s. He was a former NABA Universe champion 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. One in 88, 89, something like that. Anyway, went to the IFBB, and it just so happened it was the Mass Monster era, and he was more of an aesthetic bodybuilder. But had he been around today, I think he would have lost a few pounds and switched over to the classic physique division, where Chris Bumstead, he reigns supreme. Let's go through these shots and see who is the better bodybuilder, who is the more aesthetically pleasing bodybuilder, and who would win the matchup. Chris Bumstead, as good as he is, there is no way, shape, or form he can stand toe-to-toe against a very aesthetically pleasing bodybuilder that competed in the most aesthetic era there was, the 90s. 70s, yeah, but you look at the lineups, in particular in the early to mid 90s, and every bodybuilder looked so good, loaded with mass muscle as well. And obviously, he has, inches and pounds of muscle on Chris Bumstead. So, of course, he is defeating Bumstead. But let's be fair to Chris. He's on a weight cap. He can only get so heavy. And Clairmont, he's at least 10, 15 pounds heavier. And he's maybe an inch shorter as well. So if he were to compete nowadays, he would have to cut into that meat. He'd still look good, though. Go through the shots here. And man, oh man, for those of you, like I said, if you've never seen Clairmont before, this will be an eye-opener. From head to toe, this guy was so complete. I'm sure many of you were wondering, well, why didn't he win the Olympia title? There are lists of bodybuilders from the 90s that never won the Olympia. It was so thick were the lineups. I don't think the lineups were ever that thick, because you had the top of the line in, every division. Your Chris Bumsteads, your Derek Lunsfords, rather. Those versions, the 90s versions of those guys, they all competed in the open class, so it was very difficult to enter and win a competition. Bumstead, not faring very well at all against this 90s superstar. Turn to the side chest development. Bumstead, his technique is awesome. The cuts in the wheels, fantastic. Actually looks better in the legs here from the side. From the front, it would be a different tail altogether. I think they put their legs against their other leg nowadays. Yeah. From the front, it looked like Charles had the bigger set of wheels. Could be the sizing, could be off too. I'll admit. The camera angles, I think, are way off as well. I don't know, if there's going to be a shot Bumstead's taking, it would be this one. But you look at the arms, and it's Charles Clairmont all the way. Look at that deep cut in that bicep. Looks like an Arnold Schwarzenegger. Come on, get to the chopper. Whee! That's Kermit the Frog's version of Arnold. I've done side tricep. I've done so many Arnold impressions, I figured I would try to shake it up a bit. Let's hear Stallone doing Arnold. Get to the chopper. Yeah, anyway. We'll leave it at that. Don't get me wrong. Chris is all man. He is rich, thick, creamery Canadian meat. Awesome, too. But Charles Clairmont, I honestly would say he was next level stuff in the first few shots. The side tricep, whether or not I was able to size these guys correctly, it looks like Bumstead, his physique-wise, it looks better. The vacuum pose, the chest, things of that nature. But man, Charles still beating him in the tricep. Is this a blowout? Could it be? Is Charles Clairmont that good? Well, aesthetically speaking, yes, he was. But you have to win the back shots, and this is the softest display of a donk, the buttocks, the softest butt I have ever seen in bodybuilding you gotta wait till I'm finished, in comparison with the hamstrings. Those hamstrings would have you believe, and me as well, that this guy is conditioned. but it's a soggy donk. The fact is, they didn't flex them. They didn't train them to be striated. They didn't care about the badonkadonk. So if you write that off, it's still it's an odd matchup. I mean, Charles lacks width. Bumstead has the width. He lacks maybe some depth. Let's have a look at the rear double bicep. Maybe we could tell a little bit more from this one. And yeah, it's kind of a matchup, an even matchup. Bumstead has the nice silhouette, lines, lower lat insertions, but Charles, he has that as well, except he is thicker. Look at the thick meat. Again, soggy donk, conditioned hamstrings. Isn't that weird? Arms, Charles had some of the best arms in the 1990s, I'm here to tell you. And aside from the condition of the glutes, I think that Charles Clairmonte is smoking Chris Bumstead in all aspects. Front, side, well, closer from the side than any of the other shots. Turn around, and it appears that there is just nowhere for Chris Bumstead to hide in this matchup. Charles Clairmonte has him beat in all aspects. But you got to think, guys, a lot of people talk about Charles Clairmonte being so underrated and overlooked. And not only that, but the most aesthetically pleasing bodybuilder of his time. And this is men's classic physique, right? So if you look good, you should win. And Charles Clairmonte looks good. Is he as conditioned as the C-man, the C-bum? Probably not. I think if we had really better pictures or closer up pictures of Charles Clairmonte, we would probably see an edge in conditioning for Chris Bumstead. But at the end of the day, and in most of the shots, I would have Charles Clairmonte winning this one. And I guess we'll finish off with the most muscular, even though they don't really use this one. Not really fair to Bumstead, but I will say he looks pretty darn handy in this most muscular, hands on hip. But Charles Clairmonte looks very hard and conditioned as well, and maybe I spoke too soon on that condition. I mean, that's some thin skin there. Keep in mind that flow, the aesthetics of this guy, some of the best lines in bodybuilding history. So who's winning the matchup? Well, Charles Clairmonte is. It's a picture comparison, things of that nature. I would wager to say for sure that he is winning this one. But let's be fair to Chris Bumstead. He is on a weight cap. If Charles Clairmonte had to get down to that weight, what is it, 235, whatever it is, he wouldn't look this good. There's no way. You take a little bit of that sting out of that physique, and food for thought, posing. Chris Bumstead is awesome. Was Charles a poor poser? That's not what I'm saying, but I doubt he was as crisp as Chris Bumstead. But anyway, guys, hit thumbs up. This is your You Pick Tuesday, or You Choose Tuesday, maybe. Hit thumbs up. Have a great day.